We're on the final page.
Oh my god, we made it! Doki Doki Yenshi. I have not heard of this game, so I don't know why
Okay,
this.
interesting fact with this game. This is a Japan-only game, but it did come out in Europe, but the European game had like a completely different like look and name to it. In fact, you want to know what it was actually based after?
Oh, I don't know what.
It was based after those troll dolls.
Wait, no,
Yeah,
the
you
ones with
remember
the
those troll dolls
fires.
with the stupid hair?
Yeah, yeah, and then they had the stone protectors and the troll dolls. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
those.
those. Yeah, yeah, the
What?
European game of that is based after trolls.
What? Okay, guess
Yeah,
that's
isn't
like a.
that crazy?
Okay, I don't know why they. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I've never played this one. In fact, I actually didn't know about this game until like fairly recently. And that's, when I found out about that, and I was just like, wow, what the fuck?
It's nuts.
Yeah,
I
that's all I'll
just.
say on that.
I don't even know why that's one on here. Okay. Okay. Twin Eagle. Uh, Maybe I played this. I'm not going to mark it though because I don't remember anything about it. It's like a top-down shooter, I think.
Yeah, probably. It's a helicopter game. I've never played it.
Yep, I know a little bit about it, but that's it. Euphoria. I recently played this on the Wii U Virtual Console, and it's a Lost Sunsoft game we never got, which is like a Metroid exploration type game where you find your buddies. You start as the guy on the top, and you find your two guys here on the bottom, middle and bottom. And as you get them, they get different abilities, and you use those abilities to progress in the map further to get to the end. Great music like Sunsoft, and yeah, it's a fun game. Only in Europe, I think, right?
Yeah, that one only came out in Europe. That one I've never played, but I've always wanted to try it. I just, never got around to it, but I always thought it looked cool.
Yeah, I know you don't like Metroid style games, so maybe
No,
just
it's not that I
check
don't
it
like
out,
Metroid games.
or you're
It's
bad
just
at them.
I'm just not good at
Okay.
them, so I don't play them a lot.
Okay, give this one a shot. Then you might like it. I mean, just for the music alone, it's
Yeah,
pretty
that's one I
decent.
would definitely would play like for sure. It's just, unfortunately when it comes to like the indie scene on like, like with more modern games, there's just so much like Metroidvania games.
Oh,
It's just
there's
a
so
little
many.
overwhelming.
Yep, I agree with you there. It's like a glutton of riches for those type of games now.
Yeah. But no, like I said, Euphoria looks cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
Alright, next is Uncharted Waters. We probably haven't played it.
No, never played it. Can't
Yeah,
really speak about it.
yeah, it's another Koei game with a cool cover art.
Of course, it's Koei. Look at that cover art, and that looks like a book.
Yeah, I know the Super Nintendo game of Uncharted Waters apparently like has like more like RPG stuff in it, which is kind of interesting, but I just never tried it.
Okay.
So that's just one thing I'll quickly say on that.
Okay. Cool. I didn't know there was a Super Nintendo Uncharted Waters.
Yeah. Now
Hmm.
next we have Uninvited.
Yeah, I wanted to play through all the Mac Venture games on NES. I played through Shadowgate, and then as a kid, and I played through Uninvited a few years ago, and I like this one. It's somewhat better than Shadowgate. So basically, it's a point and click first person adventure game. You have a little cursor hand, you move it around, point to stuff, examine it with verbs or whatever, and you basically find items to use, and that's about it. But it's very spooky and scary.
Yeah, I always like the pixel art that they have for the game. I think it just looks really cool.
Yeah, it does. I agree. Um,
Yeah, I played it too. I could never get far into it because it's very cryptic and it's definitely one you
yes.
need a
Mhm.
guide for. But I like the idea of it. I think it's cool.
Oh, it's an idea. I got through without a guide, but it took many, many trial
Oh
and error.
wow, that's
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah, and it's not. I say if you want to play it, you don't have the patience, just use a guide, get through it. You'll enjoy it.
All right. Next we have the Untouchables.
Yes, I did play a little bit of this. There's two covers for this one, I think. But it starts out. I think there's like a shooter stage at the beginning. Um, Maybe I'm gonna uncheck this one. I don't remember much about it, so maybe I didn't play it. But it was based on the movie. Came out in '92 or something, which is pretty decent. But I don't remember
I've
much about
actually
it.
never seen the movie or played the game.
The movie's pretty good.
Yeah, I know it has good actors in it. I don't know. It's just one of those movies that I just never watched for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
I understand. I got a lot of those, like Last Action Hero.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's me with that.
Your Untouchables is my last action hero.
Yeah.
Uh, so next we move on to Vice Project Doom. I have played this and finished it. Fun game. Different kinds. You start out with like a spy hunter over the top racing game, and then you go to a side scroller type Ninja Gaiden game. You have a guy who like swings a sword or can use a gun. You switch between them or a grenade. 3 types of items. Good music. Good like Tecmo movie scenes in it.
Yep.
Different types of gameplay. Good soundtrack. I think this is American Sammy published. I don't know who developed it.
Yeah, it was published by Sammy for sure. I forget who published or who made it, but I know when they released it on the Virtual Console, they actually changed the title screen a little bit.
Oh, I gotta try that out now. I did not know that.
Yeah, they changed because the company that made it originally is no longer like around or something, so they had to like change it up for that release.
Oh, interesting. I
Yeah.
have to check that out. So you played it? You like it? Or
Oh yeah, I love Vice Project Doom. I think it's awesome.
yeah, you wouldn't tell by the cover. Of course, I think that cover is pretty cool, but
I mean, the cover art kind of just looks like, I don't know, like rip-off Die Hard, but
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, John McClane with his wife or something.
yeah, but it's like, I don't know, it's actually a really good game. Yeah, no, I love the fact that it combines like many different gameplay elements, and they all feel really good.
I agree. A little hard, but I was never frustrated. I kept wanting to go, and that's a good sign. I kept wanting to play it again.
Yeah, I kind of want to play it again too, actually, because it's been a while since I played it.
Nice. So we're in agreement. Vice Project Doom is Vice Project Good.
Yes.
Made no sense. Whatever.
That's all.
Moving on to Wacky.
We're all about like stupid jokes.
Yeah, well, I'm full of them. Moving on to Wacky Races. I haven't played this.
I've played this. In fact, I actually reviewed this one many years ago, and I actually think it's a very underrated platformer. I mean, okay,
Oh, it's
first
a
of all, it's called
platformer.
Wacky Races, but it's not a racing game. So, like, what the fuck, guys?
I thought it was a racing game, but okay.
No, it's not. It's actually a platformer where you play as Muttley, and you actually got to take out like the good guys there.
Oh, Muttley, Terry's favorite.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Well, I mean, I grew up with Wacky Races, so like I like loved it as a kid. So when I found out there was an NES game from on there, and it was actually from Atlas, I was like, oh wow, like I gotta try
Oh,
out
that's
this
another
game.
Atlas one. Okay, that's another Atlas one, and it's a late NES release, right? Because it has that stripe at the top.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
another late one, yeah. But yeah, no, it's actually a really good game. Like I said, it's short. It's not too hard. It does get hard like later on, obviously, but I feel like that it is like a good like chill one for the most part.
Like Panic Restaurant.
Yeah, kind of like Panic Restaurant, yeah. It's short. It does have its challenging parts, but it's definitely not like bullshit hard.
Okay, well, I'll try that one out.
It's one that I would definitely recommend to most people for sure.
Well taken. I will put that on the list. Wacky Races. I'll have to emulate those ones, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah, no, understandably, yeah, 'cause that one's expensive too.
Yeah.
Alright, next we got Werewolf the Last Warrior.
Yes, I have played and beaten Werewolf the Last Warrior, and it is a game that you got to play and play and play and play and play again until you realize how to get till you get to the jungle, and then you die at the jungle, and then you play up to the jungle and play up to the jungle and play up to the jungle and figure out how to do it and get lucky and beat the jungle. Then you beat the game. The game is incredibly difficult up to that. It's manageable up to the jungle part, and then when you get to the jungle, the difficulty spikes. Then when you get past the jungle, the difficulty levels off. But limited continues. You play as a werewolf. It's cooler than it's not as cool as it sounds, but he's ripping through a circuit board on the cover. But
I think that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But you start out as a little weak guy, and you can only punch, but then you get a blue W that increases your werewolf, or it could be a red, and you turn into a werewolf, and then you're super. You can like just mash everything, kill everything. When you take enough damage, you go back to the human. Very janky platformer. You can cling to the walls to climb on pipes, but it's very hard to do. You got to kind of hit up and A it up at the right time at the height of your jump or something. You can also do a backflip by hitting B and A. The game will never tell you this, but you're invincible when you do it. So there's a stage where you have to do it to get through a part, or
Okay.
you'll just die. And also the last boss is very hard without knowing that. So if you play this game, know that you got to do that. And also, for the love of God, the the jungle stage. If you get up to there, just quit and look up the rest of the game.
Just judging from, because I've never played this before, but I've heard about it. But man, that sounds rough.
It's a tough game. It's one of the tougher ones I beat up there. I think I just got lucky on the jungle part, but it's average. It sounds much cooler than it is. Good music though.
Okay. All right.
This is just.
Oh, go on.
Oh, I should go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna move on to the next one.
That's fine. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's Wampum.
Yeah. Have you played Wampum? I don't want to. I feel like I'm talking.
I've played it. I've played Wampum before, but here's my interesting thing with this game. I didn't know this game had a North American release until like years later, because I remember I played a game that when I was just downloading like just random like NES games, I found one that was called Sayuki World 2, and I downloaded it because that's the Japanese version of this game. And then I was like, oh, this is a really cool game. I like this. But then, like, years later, I see this game called Wampum, and then I find out that it's literally the North American version of Sayuki World 2.
You're like having, this is just, okay. You're like, putting them together. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
like, it's weird that I found out about the Japanese version before I knew about the English one.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But once you played the English one, you're like, oh, man, this is that Sayuki game.
Yeah, it was so weird and bizarre. But anyways, yeah, it's a platformer. It's actually really cool. It kind of reminds me of like Mega Man, but if you had like a melee weapon as well as you can you can shoot stuff with certain power ups. But yeah, it's actually a really fun game though.
I agree, and you can grind in it too to get more health. Those little pairs you get, if you sit in one spot and grind, you'll get bigger health, and it'll make the game easier.
Oh, I actually did not know that.
Yep, if you want to play Wampum, do that. Find a spot with those little enemies to grind, snakes to give you pairs and grind them up. But yeah, I like Wampum too. It's a little challenging, but if you grind, you can get through it. I think it's on continues. I could be mistaken though. I don't remember.
I forget too. It's been a while since I played it. And like I said, I was mostly playing the Japanese version, so
yeah. You do have like an up thrust like in Zelda and a down thrust, I think. So that's a plus.
Yeah. But like I said, I like the fact that it does have the whole Mega Man, like, switch, like, selecting whatever level you want.
Yep. You select the stages, and then you can change through their weapons. You get different weapons, like a spinny, like, little spear.
Yep.
I remember that one and a vacuum one that sucked enemies and stuff.
Yeah, in the Japanese game, he's not like an Indian. He's a, like this, what do you call him? He's kind of like Sun Wukong, like the Journey to the West, like the monkey king that rides on the cloud.
Oh, that's where they got Nimbus from on Dragon Ball.
Yeah, like like Dragon Ball like took a lot of influences from Journey to the West. Yeah, the Japanese version is basically like him.
Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wampum. I would say it's better than Werewolf.
Better than Werewolf. All right. Well, that's good to know. All right.
But yeah, good to see you like to enjoy that one too. I don't hear a lot of people talk about Wampum.
Yeah. Well, it's also kind of a stupid name.
It's kind of, yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Mr. Widget.
I have this game in the box and never played it.
Okay, I've never played this NES game, but I think I played the Super Nintendo one. And, yeah, I won't really say much about it here, but I remember it being like an okay platformer.
Okay.
I don't know if the NES one is different.
Yeah, I think I have it. It might not be in the box, but I think I have it. But I've never played it. If it's a platformer, there was a ton of them, so it'd have to do something outstanding for me to really want to jump into it. But maybe I'll give it a shot sometime. I didn't know there was a Super Nintendo version.
Yeah. Alright, next we got Wrath of the Black Manta.
Yes, I played this. I rented it. I played it somehow as a kid. I remember getting to a big guy in a wife beater, and he was a giant sprite, the biggest sprite I ever saw on the screen. I thought it was amazing. That's the farthest I ever got. You have to rescue kids who are stolen or something, like Shinobi, but not. It's not as arcadey as Shinobi. It doesn't control. It doesn't.
It has
really
a very different
feel
feel than a lot of the other ninja games, for sure.
It does. It doesn't feel as smooth. You don't feel like a ninja. You feel like almost like a
I
Double
feel like
Dragon.
your guy kind of feels like a cop or like a
Yeah, he's
detective.
slower. It's I never really felt ninja-y when I was playing it, but
Yeah,
and
it's
that,
not really great, but I think it has interesting ideas. Like the thing I like about it, because I this is actually another early game that I grew up playing was Wrath of Black Manta, and yeah, I remember
plot.
like I like the fact that you can like with certain characters you can actually like interrogate them in the middle of like the stage.
I never knew that.
Yeah, you can do that in the game,
Oh wait, you know what?
and they
Yeah,
give you
okay,
like a little like hints or whatever.
okay. Maybe I did know that. I don't know.
Yeah, I like stuff like that. I thought was kind of interesting because at the time I never knew you could like do that in a video game.
So
But
you played this a lot. You had this game or you rented it?
no, I actually owned it as a
Okay.
kid. I
Man,
owned
you had
it.
a lot of NES games as a kid.
Yeah, and yeah, that one I actually owned. I played it quite a bit. I remember liking it as a kid. Of course, when I play it now, I don't really care for it as much, but I do
Yeah.
appreciate like aspects of it.
Have you ever finished it?
No, because it's hard. It gets really
Okay.
hard. Like I remember some of those bosses are like insanely hard with the patterns.
Okay. You remember the big guy I was talking about, though, right?
Yeah, yeah, all the bosses are like that. Like they're all
They're
like
like
really
huge.
huge
Okay, all of
sprites
them
and like a
are.
black
Okay.
background. Yeah.
Yeah, they have to. It was too much for it. They had to just black the background out.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I never knew much about that game other than what I said, but nice to know somebody's played it.
All right. What about this one? Worm Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yes, I have this. I finished it. It's an interesting game. It's like there's like first person shooting parts. There's like platforming parts. There's like shooter parts in the vehicle. You can transform the vehicle into like a digger. Can get places. There's like a story with RPG battles. It's a unique game. It doesn't fit into one genre, but it's like all kinds of stuff, like four different types. But I don't
Yeah.
know if you've ever tried this or not.
I actually have, believe it or not. I played it for a little bit. I didn't play it a lot, but from what I did play of it, I actually did like it, and I thought it was pretty cool and unique. Like you said, like there's like a lot of different game modes in it. I actually didn't know it had like more than just what you said. I was like, wow, shit, there's
Yeah,
more.
it has. Yeah, there's like RPG battles in it. While bosses like fight, attack.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because I never got that
Yeah,
far, but I thought it was very cool looking. I know the game, like as you can tell from the box art, it looks kind of like super comic
it's
booky.
like yeah, it's like I don't. There's a lot going on in that box art.
Yeah, but I know in the game graphics, it looks very anime like.
It does. Yeah, the girl I think has green hair or something. I could be mistaken, and she's very tall and anime looking.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting. So yeah, no, that's actually a cool game. I'm actually surprised that you played that one because that's the game that like almost nobody freaking talks about.
Oh yeah, I played through it once. It was decent. I mean, I didn't play it enough, liked it enough to play through it. So I liked what stuck with me was the different styles. It's cool to see. I'm glad you played it too. I never hear people talk about Worm, like you
Yeah,
said. Moving on to Zexies, Hudson
I
Soft.
call it Xerxes, but I don't
Okay,
know.
Zexies. I played through this game too. It's a lot of door opening. There's side-scrolling parts which are okay. You're in a little robot. You shoot stuff. Go into lots of doors to find items and stuff. Not items, but where to go. And but the best part of the game is the shooting parts. The platforming parts are just okay, and it's a fine game. It's not great though.
Yeah, I like this game, but I don't like love it. It actually reminds me of another game that I've played that was Japan only. That was made by I think it was made by the same company. But yeah, I think this is actually an Atlas game, but
Oh,
Hudson Soft like published it if I remember correctly.
you are correct. The B's right up there. Hudson B. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, there's another game that was Japan only that I remember reviewing on my channel that's very similar to this, but I think it was a lot better. I'm trying to remember the freaking name of it. I think it was like Bio Warrior something. Of course, it has the word bio in it,
Bioforce
so of
8.
course I like it.
Everything with bio.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bioforce Ape is an unreleased NES game that unfortunately is
Yeah,
not great. So
I was looking at it. Yeah. Oh, you played that one then too.
yeah,
See, I
I played
remember
that one too.
seeing. Okay, I remember it was covered in Nintendo Power is coming soon. Bioforce 8. They even had a screenshot of it, but never came out.
Yeah, like someone leaked like a ROM of it or something.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's not great though.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, it was unreleased, so you can't really expect it to
Yeah,
be amazing, but,
yeah, that's true. That's true. But Sexy's, it's okay. I wasn't blown away. I thought the shooter parts were better than the platforming parts, and there was a lot of doors going into. That's what I remember.
Yeah. Yep. Alright, now what about Yonoid?
This was the last NES game I beat, Leonoid, for the first time. Uh, I like the Noid as a character. I mean, I remember the Noid as a character. I think this is a skin of another game.
Yeah, in
In
Japan it
Japan,
was something else, but I forget what it is right now.
yeah, but this is a platformer. You play as the Noid. The Noid was a pizza guy who would try to take pizza if it was late or something, or make your pizza late. I forget. In the '90s, one hit deaths, cheap hit detection. Um, and the most annoying thing about the game is when you get to the end of every other level, you have to fight another Noid in a pizza contest. And to have a chance, you got to get these hidden items during the stage. So, like pepper, which are like exclamation marks, and you have to get cards, more pizza cards, which come up as like numbers, like 2, 3. The more you get there, the easier the pizza contest is. So basically, it's like basically he gives you he draws a card that's a 5, and you have to draw either use pepper to so he doesn't win if you have a lower card, or use a higher card to beat that. So and you get the difference in cards. So if he throws a 4 down and you have a 5, you get one pizza,
Yeah,
something
I
like that.
remember those parts took forever.
They're the worst part of the game. It's like, come on, I just want a platform. But if you lose them, you have to go back and redo the stage again, which is annoying. I beat it. It was average. The music was good. The hit detection's terrible. The pizza game's terrible. I don't know if I'll play Yonoid again anytime soon.
Yeah, it's kind of not great. I think the game is just more like funny than anything now.
Yeah, because Annoyed he has his own pizza or game. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's so random, right? But yeah, no,
Yeah,
I never liked it either. I always thought it was probably one of like the worst Capcom games on the NES.
I could see that. Yeah, I kind of, I think I agree with you a little bit there. It's
Yeah.
not bad. It's just like average or below average for them, and that's. But for them, it's even a below average game is like average for everybody else.
Yeah, like you compare that to like literally like any of like the Mega Man games or
Oh
like
yeah,
any
it's not.
other like big Capcom classic game. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't hold a candle to that. Yonoid, you can yo skip.
All right. Now next we have is Zen the Intergalactic Ninja.
Never played this. I know it's based on a comic and it's isometric in parts, but that's all I know about it.
I've actually never played this either, weirdly enough. I mean, the title sounds like something I would have played, but I just
Yeah, that's why I'm
never.
surprised. I thought you would play this.
No, I just never did. I just like I honestly kind of forgot about this game's existence.
No, I'm
All
sure
right.
it's probably fine. Let's moving on to Zoda's Revenge, Star Tropics 2. Not Star Tropics 2, but Zoda's Revenge, Star Tropics 2. Um,
Yeah, we talked
so
about a little bit earlier that yeah, this game is good, but the first one is like the best.
I kind of agree with that. I do want to play this one again though soon. Zoda's because I only played through it once. I remember time travel and giving a pizza to Cleopatra in like a night area and get different weapons, but I don't remember much else about it. But yeah, I liked the first Star Tropics a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, both are good, but yeah, I think the first one's more memorable, like we said.
Yep. One of the last official oh no, one of the last official NES games released by Nintendo, I think.
It was
For the
either that or
NES.
Kirby's Adventure, or no, it
Yeah,
was
one of
Wario's
them.
Woods.
Prince Woods or this one, I think, but I don't remember.
Yeah. All right. Next we have Zombie Nation.
I know, never played it. I do know a lot about it because the internet and the big face shooting stuff, but I've never played it.
Yeah, I actually played this one. It's weird, like you would expect.
Yeah, it's another yeah, weird. Yep.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, like I said, I think the reason why you play it, it's just for the weirdness, not because it's good or great.
Yeah, you just want to see a giant head flying around, Donald Trump head flying around shooting stuff.
Yeah, because it's funny, and I remember someone mentioned that like they should make this into a movie, just a flying head, just
Nation?
like
What
destroying
the
shit.
hell? Be a good kaiju movie or something, I guess.
Yeah, I would love to
Okay.
see that. By the way,
A kaiju zombie nation movie?
yeah,
Or just a zombie? Okay. Oh,
yeah.
sure. Why not?
Yeah, it's also just kind of a weird title too, because like there's
Yeah,
really
what's
no zombies in the game except for I don't know. I guess your head is a zombie, I guess, but
or maybe the nations be zombies and you have to save it? I don't know.
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, weird game.
All right, next up we have this interesting one, Tombs and Treasure.
No, but for the longest time I was wanting to play this and I was looking to buy it, but I just couldn't find the right price for it. So I've never played it.
I've never played it either, but one interesting fact that I found out about the game was that it was actually made by Neon Falcom.
Oh, the East guys.
Yeah, the people that made the East games and like the Trails games and all that. Yeah, they made this shit, and I was like, wow, that's completely different.
Yeah, that's like an adventure, first person adventure game for them. That's interesting. Good for
Yeah.
them.
I don't think we're
Yeah.
gonna get a new one of that anytime soon, though.
Bring back Tombs and Treasures.
Yeah,
Bring
bring
back
it back,
Rock and
Falcom, you
Cat.
stupids.
Yeah, come on.
Uh, okay, now I
No,
think we're getting to like the Japanese stuff, which I'm not sure if
yeah.
you're as familiar with.
We have Layla. Layla got me on my knees. I have never played this.
I played it before, and yeah, I always think of that song too. By the way,
Layla? Yeah, every time I see Layla, I think of that song.
yeah,
Good. I'm glad
uh,
you got that.
yeah. No, I know my music shit, but yeah, no, Layla's a it's a decent game. I think I just like the art style of it more than anything, but yeah, it's all
Oh,
right.
so you have played this. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I've
you're
emulated
gonna
that
clean
one.
up this. You're gonna clean up this category here. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a platformer.
It's kind of like a scrolling shooter, kinda,
Okay.
from what I. Alright, though, I think it does have platforming sections in it too, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Or am I getting mixed up with the Dirty Pair game that they released? I forget.
Not no.
Yeah, I'll have to remember on that. But I know for a fact I do have, like, a ROM of it, and I do remember booting it up, so.
Okay.
Okay, the
Interesting
Wing of
shooter.
Medulla. I actually have reviewed this game. This is
I
an
know that.
early Sunsoft game.
Yeah. Tell me about this game. I hear about it. I know the Game Center CX guys did it. If you ever let's watch that show, they did. He did a playthrough of it, but I don't know much about it. So please.
Okay. I've reviewed this one. The sum up briefly is that it kind of reminds me of a Vala's game, sort of, but it's not really like that. The gameplay, like progression, it sort of reminds me of like other early Sunsoft games, um, like Fester's Quest. Like it's one of those games where like you kind of have to like grind out your character before you like just fly across the level. Because you just fly
Yeah.
across the level, you're just gonna be really weak and you're just gonna die easily. But
Okay. So,
I actually like it. Once you
okay.
learn the way how it works, I think it's actually pretty enjoyable, especially for an early Sunsoft game, because you know some of the early stuff were a little hit and miss. But I think this one was actually good once you learn it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's one that I
Cool.
think you maybe might like.
Okay. I all I know from it was like I said, the Game Center CX when he played that. But yeah, this yeah, okay. I know it's early Sunsoft. That's all I know. And cool. I
Yeah,
never
I
actually met
remember.
anybody who played that.
I remember the one tip is that you can continue unlimitedly, but you have to like. I think like during like when you die, you press like start and select at the same time or something, and then you can like continue as many times as you want. But if you don't do that, then it's like back to the start.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to, early games did that. Just put a continue on the screen.
Yeah, I don't know why either, but that's something I do remember about it. Though I might
Okay.
have gotten the buttons mixed up, but
So if you hit start and select, if you hit start before select, but you hit them at near the same time, you'd go back to the beginning of this. That
I
stinks.
don't think it was that tricky. I remember I've never. I can tell you this: when I played through that game, I never like fucked it up.
Okay, well that's good.
So yeah, I don't think it's like super picky about that. As long as you press the two buttons, like you can continue.
Okay. Well, I didn't know much about that game, but I've heard about it.
Okay, that's interesting that you've heard about it at least.
Yeah, like I said, Game Center CX. Yeah.
All right. Then there's Labyrinth. Well, this is the computer game, but there is actually a Famicom game based after Labyrinth the movie.
Oh, so this isn't based on the movie.
Well, it's based after the movie, but it's like um how do I explain it? Yeah, it's a Famicom game that was based after the movie, and it was like top down. I've actually never played it, but I did like look up stuff about it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting the fact that there's a Labyrinth video game.
This is a top-down adventure game, like.
Yeah, sort of Zelda-like, but not really.
Hmm.
Yeah, it looked interesting, but like I
Okay.
said, like David Bowie in a video game.
Before, what's that one he did? The full motion one. Okay, what it was?
Oh,
Omicron or
Omicron.
whatever. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know there was a Labyrinth video game.
Yeah, you think that game would have came out over here, given like how popular it was?
Yeah, like of all the places, it would come out here at least two,
Yeah. All right.
maybe trans.
Next we got Joy Mech Fight, which I've actually played.
Oh, I have not played it.
Yeah, this is actually a Nintendo made game, I'm pretty sure, because I know the character is in Smash Bros. Ultimate as a assist trophy.
Oh, it's a character. Okay, I thought it was a shooter.
Yeah, see that little like pink like circle thing? Yeah, that's actually
Oh,
the
that's the
character.
guy?
Yeah, he's
Oh.
literally like a form of
I didn't
balls.
know that was the guy. Okay, I see him now. He has little eyes. He looks like a Vector Man kid or something.
He's basically like Vector Man, but he's pink. But yeah, it's
Okay.
basically like a fighting game. Which, you think a fighting game on an NES, you think that would just be weird as shit. But they actually made it work pretty interestingly enough.
So you said Nintendo published it or they developed it?
I think they developed it. Or if they didn't develop it, I think they got like one of their companies that they own developed it. But I know they do own the rights to it.
Hmm. Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, actually. I think it's a kind of a quirky game. All
Yeah,
right,
there's a lot.
this one surprisingly I've actually never played this Digital Devil Story Megami Tensei. As much as I am a fan of the Megami Tensei games, I've actually never tried this one.
I haven't either. This is the very first one that introduced like monster catching, right? To like before Pokemon, before Dragon Quest, before
Yep,
all that.
yep, this is the first one to do it. I played Megami Tensei 2, but that's not on here, so I can't count that. But the reason I played that one and not the first was because that was the only one at the time that had like an actual translation. I think this one does now, but I just never tried it.
Okay.
But I can definitely tell you from what I played of Megami Tensei 2, it was hard as balls.
So this one's probably not going to be any easier.
Probably not. I mean, most of those games are pretty hard as balls, especially the early ones. Alright.
Okay.
Okay, this is the game I was thinking of. That's
Oh, the bio game
yeah,
you're talking
Bio
about.
Senshi Dan. Yeah, I think it's Bio Warrior Dan.
Dan. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the game that's like Xyz's, but I like it a lot better. This one I would definitely recommend too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
a
it's
good
like
one.
Zexy's shooter and platforming parts, but done better.
Yeah. Alright, and then there's YY World. This is the Konami game that, that's kind of like a crossover thing.
They raced in carts once, didn't they?
Yeah, Konami Crazy Racers on the GBA,
Yeah,
yep.
that's it.
Yeah, this is
I've
like
not.
their little weird action game that they put out. It's pretty decent, actually.
Okay. Platformer.
Yeah, it's a platformer, yep.
We never got it.
Yep. And then there's,
And
Radius
you sorry,
NT.
you played that one?
Yes, I played this one. Yeah, this one I actually reviewed. I think this was actually the last NES game that I remember reviewing on my channel was Radia War. It's
Is
actually
this
a
a Saint?
Tecmo game, believe it
Is
or
this a
not.
Saint Seiya game?
It's not Saint Seiya, no.
Okay.
No, it's its own thing. It's kind of like an action RPG from Tecmo, where like it has like random like encounters, but when you go into battles, it doesn't go to turn based. It kind of like you're like you have like a party of characters and you just like wander around the field and just you attack things, and then you get EXP, and then it just the characters line back up again to where you were, and then you just continue walking.
Okay.
It kind of
RPG.
reminds me of like an early like Star Ocean type of thing, because it kind of has like both future and like medieval stuff in it too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very
Never,
interesting. It's definitely a
never
game
played
that like I kind of wish Tecmo would like make a new
it.
one for, but given the fact they don't make RPGs anymore, I don't think they ever will.
Yeah, they made Secret of the Stars, right?
Yeah, and that game sucked.
I never played it. I want to
I
play it.
tried it out before because I was curious. Cause like, oh my god, a Tecmo RPG, and then I played it and I was so disappointed.
I saw it for $40 and I passed on it because the label was teared up.
Yeah, I don't,
It,
dude. It's not even worth that. Even if the label wasn't teared up for $40, I still wouldn't take it. But yeah, Radio War I actually think is like legitimately a good game.
so this is one you reviewed last review.
Yeah, I reviewed it 2 years ago. I think. I think it
Okay,
was 2 years ago.
interesting. I never even heard of it.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's cool. It
cool.
actually was
Ninja.
supposed to come out over here in North America, but it got canceled, unfortunately.
Was it? It must have been a later release, maybe.
Yeah, it was like 91, 92.
Uh, that's why
Yeah.
Super Nintendo is out. So
Okay, this
Ninja
is the.
Jaru Man,
Wait, what?
uh, Ninja Jaramu. I'm sorry, you done with
Yeah, I'm done with
right?
Radio War.
This next one, Ninja Judge, is that the translation of the game we got? What was it called?
Ninja Kid? I
Is that
think
the one
this
you were
is.
thinking of?
I was thinking this was the game, but I don't remember for sure. I'll leave that one off just because, like I
Okay,
said, I don't remember exactly which this one is.
okay, because I've never played it, but that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, I know I played one of the Ninja Jellico games, but I forget which one. Alright.
Jellico,
Yeah, I like
Jellico,
the little intro thing that they do.
Jellico. Yeah,
Now, this one
need
has
to.
a funny name. Is that when you translate this name, it's literally called Jesus the Bio Monster.
Nice. Well, I would not guess from the cut. It looks like a murder mystery adventure game or something.
It kind of is, yeah. I've never played it. I've always wanted to try it because I think the box art for it looks really sick. Well, that's not the box art. That's like literally an in-game screenshot. But yeah, the game is basically yeah, like an adventure game, first person. You know, kind of similar to
Like Portopia or murder mystery or something.
um, yeah, kind of like that. So I had to think about
Jesus.
what that game was again.
Oh no, I've never played it, but I know Yuji Horii was one of the first games he did.
Yeah, the murder mystery
Dragon Quest.
game. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it was very popular, but it just threw out that vibe for me. I didn't know if it was anything like it. But it
yeah, it's
stands for
similar.
Jesus the Monster. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, it's basically it's a game that takes place on a space station and it's about like aliens trying to attack or something.
Hmm.
That's what I
That's
remember it being about.
well, that's probably why we didn't get it. Where it's kind of well, Jesus in the title for one, and then I don't think adventure games were. I mean, there's
Yeah.
some, but
Then
well, what's
now we have Getsufu Madden. Madden. Madden.
Madden? That's the first Madden right here. Boom.
John Madden's first game.
Yeah. I'm not going to make a Madden game until you can have more than 6 samurai on the screen at once. But I think they re-released this game recently, didn't they?
I
Or
think they did. I know they did a remake of it. I know they did a like a Metroidvania remake that looks really cool.
that's what I'm thinking of then. The remake of it then. I've never played it. I don't know what if it's a Metroidvania type game.
This one,
Maybe
I
I play.
think this one's more straightforward, but I
Oh,
could be
okay.
wrong
Okay.
because I've never played this one, but I played another game in the series though. The one I
Okay.
think I played is on TurboGrafx.
Okay, so crossed Famicom and TurboGrafx.
Yeah, but I think they're completely different games, I'm pretty sure, so I won't mark this one. Alright. Now we have a pretty amusing one. This is called The American Dream, and I actually have played this because I thought the name was funny.
It's about Dusty Roads, right?
Dusty Roads. Yes.
Nice. No, I haven't played this one, but you've played it. What is it? A point and click adventure like Tomato Kingdom or?
Okay, this is a weird one. This one is actually a gambling RPG.
Nice.
Yeah, very odd,
Wow.
right? So basically, it's like a game where you just play through a bunch of slot machines and you have to try to, like, basically take over, like, America kind of thing.
Oh, hence the American Dream.
Yeah,
And
like,
this,
it's basically about, like, just trying to get as much money as possible. It's kind of not really the most exciting thing ever. But the thing I like about it is that I like the graphics. Like, as you can tell with the little screenshot, like it's very like bright and colorful and looks
I
amusing.
do like it. Reminds me a little of Tomato, but not as MS Painty.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was only Japan, and we didn't get it.
Yeah, the American dream never came out to America. What the fuck?
You have people saying you gotta pull up your bootstraps and live that American dream. This isn't the American dream. What are you gambling for, kid?
Okay, and then the very last game.
Is this a game, Kart Fighter?
It's a real game. Okay, it's not official, but it is a game that did get made. And I actually have played it many times.
Okay, so I guess it's Mario Kart with fighting?
Okay. Not quite, but almost. Okay. Basically, what someone did, this was a game that was made in Taiwan. At least I think it was Taiwan. Where basically someone made, like a Street Fighter clone on NES, but he replaced all the characters with, like, Mario characters.
Oh, okay.
It's very bizarre and weird, but it's kind of fascinating, too, because it actually plays pretty well for a fighter with only, like, 2 buttons.
But that's not officially released back in the 80s or 90s, right?
I think it was released in the 90s, but not from Nintendo, of course.
Store, yeah, okay. Somebody just made a game and put it out there.
Yeah, like, I don't know, I guess they just threw it on there just for lulz, I guess.
Because it looks like a hack or something. Somebody took Mario Kart and hacked it or something.
Yeah, no, it's actually, like, pretty original game. Like, even the backgrounds, like, look, well, I think there's one background that looks similar to, Little Nemo the Dream Master, which is not even on here.
Yeah, that should have been on in place. Well, I like that game, but anyway, go on, sorry.
But yeah, Kart Fighter is basically an original game that just happened to just, like I said, play like Street Fighter, but with Mario characters. And I remember Peach kind of looks like Chun-Li, but she's pink.
Come on, change the sprite. What are you doing?
Well, she doesn't look exactly like Chun-Li, but she looks very similar to her. Like, she has, like, a Chinese dress, but she's Peach.
She kicks high.
Yeah. But okay, now that we're done, let's show...
Wow, we made it.
Let's show our results.
Okay.
Alright, so what's your results at?
115 of 232, 50%.
I got 143 with 62.
Wow. Nice.
To be honest, I think it was mainly those Japanese games that kind of got me the edge.
I think I forgot to check some at the beginning, but I'm not even going to check. Okay. No, I don't remember. Let me see. Yeah, I still wouldn't have got 62, so you got it.
All right,
I would have got like maybe 10 more. So you got it.
All right, nice, well, that's cool. I mean, we both completed a lot, but, well, I mean, I didn't really complete a lot. I more like just played most of them.
I'll just mark mine right here real quick.
But yeah, no, you definitely, like, said, like, you beat it, like, something multiple times, which I think is, like, impressive, because I know of some of these games, I know I probably can't even beat, like, once.
They're hard, man. But there's something about, like, it's my favorite console. There's just something about NES games. I get down with them.
Yeah, no, like I said, like, I enjoy the system. Like, I even still like it today. It's just, there's just, obviously, there are a few games that, like, there are some games that, like, I know for a fact I would never, like, play again. But then there are some that, like, I still, like, I like going back to every once in a while.
Yeah, the NES, the games that you do play, they're short enough that you can, once you know them, you can blast through them and have a good time and not put a lot of commitment to them. I like that about it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But this has been fun.
Yeah, it was fun to talk about just random ass like games in a catalog and just talk shit about some of them or just like make fun of some of them and all this and that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it quite a lot. I just redid mine. I got 128, so you still got it.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's all about like who played the most, but I just wanted to see like exactly like where we'd like meet up with each other.
Yeah, I didn't think some of those they listed were really obscure, though, like Rygar and some of that stuff. Star Tropics, I don't think those were really obscure. Maybe Untouchables was, but
just weird. Like, there were some that, like, they weren't, like, they were pretty, I think they just threw in a couple well-known ones just to kind of be like, oh, here's a bone for you.
Yeah, for a freaking bone here.
For a freaking bone here.
Freaking bone here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so So mine was 128 of 232, 55%.
I mean, hey,
That's my
that's still
final.
really good. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
128, like, out of all these, like, random ass, like, unknown games, like, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that probably haven't even gotten 100.
Oh, but it's yeah. I mean, I'm glad you. This was fun. I enjoyed this quite a bit.
Oh, I'm
It
glad to
went
hear
pretty
that.
long, longer than I thought, but it was fun. Are you going to break this up into like a few?
I'll
Few.
see how long it is and we'll edit it from there. But yeah, anyways, guys, thank you for stopping by. Hopefully you guys sat through this. If not, I understand. But anyways, yeah. So tell us about some of the games that you guys have played on NES. I'll link the little chart in the description so you guys can mark down what you guys got. So anyways, with that being said, thank you for watching and commenting, and have
Yeah.
yourselves a great day.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on, Bio. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.